This one is big.
He's back.
Hi there.
Don Johnson returns.
You're kidding.
As Nash Bridges.
Finally got what we wanted. This was not my life plan.
On the case.
The best thing for you to do is surrender.
You are so clever, aren't you?
Want some action? Nash Bridges. Monday at 10:45 on Meridian.
Personally, I can't wait.
Stockport County, this season's giant killers. Southampton, their last chance for glory. Will the second division club block the road to Wembley for the Premier League Saints? An unmissable replay. The Meridian match, Wednesday, 10:40.
Last Saturday was the worst day of my life. Okay, so I won over £1 million in the pools. And I suppose for some people it would have been a cause for celebration, or something like that. But I'll tell you what, the sloppy defending that led to the equaliser completely took the shine off it for me. No one tracked back, men were left unmarked, shot.
Littlewood's Pools. Get a result.
If I told you there was a chance you could be healed, what do you think that would be worth?
A man died on my table, and I don't have the faintest idea why.
What would you risk?
They're gonna kill us!
What would you do?
Hugh Grant, Gene Hackman.
You're not God.
You'd better think about that.
Extreme measures.
Now you can get great hair for free when you swap your shampoo to Wash and Go, because we'll refund your money. So swap and go for it.
I think I'm in love with you.
But does she love him?
That woman is carrying a health warning. You know who she's married to?
His new boss. And happiness is put on the line.
Would you jeopardize it all for a man 15 years younger?
Starring Robson Green and Francesca Annis. Reckless. Starting Thursday, the 6th of February.
In 15 minutes on Meridian, we focus on America's culture and the impact it's made on Great Britain.
From the studios of ITN, The News, with Nicholas Owen.
Good evening, welcome to the programme. Tonight's headlines: Major's election offensive, manifesto ideas go before the Cabinet. And replacing Britannia, Tories attack Labour's refusal to promise public funds. The Prime Minister is at Chequers tonight, preparing to tell his Cabinet tomorrow we must move to the next stage of the opportunity revolution. He'll stress that new Conservative ideas are the key to staying in power. But Labour are already dismissing his election manifesto plans as an old agenda reheated. Here's our political editor, Michael Brunson.
The last such session at Chequers was overshadowed by a leaked document critical of the progress made in education. This time, the upbeat message is already out, that ministers will discuss a leaner, more practical manifesto than in '92, an agenda for the hard-working classes, as one source puts it, rather than for Labour's chattering classes. The Prime Minister, here on an earlier occasion at Chequers, will open the session by saying that the Tories are only halfway through their agenda. With a reformed economy set to double living standards, he will say, we must quadruple people's choice. Included in the more down-to-earth manifesto that's being prepared this time will be more education reforms, boosting individual state schools, for example, with more money as they attract extra pupils, more health reforms to allow doctors to set up super surgeries in cottage hospitals, more business deregulation, including the automatic scrapping of many regulations unless they're specifically renewed by Parliament, and a partial privatisation of the post office with the injection into it of private investment capital. Tonight, in a clear spoiling operation, Labour has released details of the nearly £500,000 they say has been paid out to ex-ministers, people like John Redwood and Norman Lamont, during the lifetime of the present Parliament. As to tomorrow's meeting, they say it is merely meant to divert attention away from the Tories' negative campaigning. Michael Brunson, ITN, Westminster.
The Defence Secretary Michael Portillo today attacked Labour over its refusal to fund a replacement for the Royal Yacht if it wins power. Labour said the money for a new Britannia should come from the private sector. Mr Portillo said that shows they don't understand the monarchy. Our political correspondent Tom Bradby reports.
The Tories have been delighted at the way they believe they've wrong-footed Labour on the royal yacht. They say they considered private funding but rejected it because of the danger that commercial sponsorship might have compromised the integrity of the monarchy.
We don't believe just in following public opinion, we believe in leading it. And I think Labour has shown, firstly, that they have no understanding of how an enterprise economy works. They have no understanding of the monarchy. They have no understanding of the appropriate way in which the nation should be supporting the monarchy and the way the nation is projected abroad.
But Labour, led by Gordon Brown, have confirmed they'll cut funding for the yacht, a move clearly designed to underline their desire to be tough on public spending generally.
I think in principle many people can see benefits of having a royal yacht, but they do have to ask themselves hard questions about its funding. The decision as to whether or not the yacht should be funded has to be taken alongside the very compelling and competing claims from schools and hospitals.
Labour favours private funding. The former Commodore of the Royal Yacht Squadron is involved in plans to create a royal yacht that could be used for sail training. He believes private finance can work.
I do see that they regard the royal yacht as part of the monarchy, and rather like the crown, you wouldn't want to get commerce in to finance that. But it could be done in a sensitive way.
Labour say they'll not provide any public money for the royal yacht for the first 2 years. After that, they say they might provide some money if the private finance initiative is seen to be working. Tony Blair's advisers have stressed today they're not opposed to the idea of a royal yacht. They just feel there are better things the public's money can be spent on. Tom Bradby, ITN, at Buckingham Palace.
5 anti-road protesters face a 4th night hold-up in their underground tunnel in Devon. Bailiffs are edging closer, but say it could be a couple of days before they reach the group. The demonstrators are thought to have enough supplies to last a month. They say they're staying put for as long as possible. Soldiers are patrolling the streets of Albania's capital tonight following violent riots there. Thousands of angry demonstrators fought running battles with police after a pyramid-selling investment scheme collapsed, wiping out all their savings. Ian Glover-James reports.
A panic-stricken driver fled rioting crowds in the Albanian provincial centre of Lushnje, followed close behind by police vans racing through a hail of stones. Scenes like this were repeated across the countryside. And in the towns, where anger at the collapse of pyramid saving schemes has spiralled out of control, directed here at riot police. Albania is Europe's poorest country, and many have been driven to desperation after handing over savings to banks offering 80% interest rates. Today in the capital, crowds demanded a return of personal savings and removal of the government. Many blame ministers for failing to regulate saving schemes and even profiting from them. Ian Glover-James, ITN.
Chechens will begin voting tomorrow for their first democratically elected president. The favourite to win is a guerrilla leader who was behind the breakaway republic's long battle with Russia. Our correspondent Julian Mannion reports from Chechnya.
After one of the most savage wars of modern times, the Chechens are celebrating their hard-won right to vote in their own elections. 50,000 people died before the Russian army pulled out, but now they're gone, and tomorrow the Chechens will choose a president. The main candidates are all leading figures from the rebel movement, including, to Russian anger and dismay, the man